Welcome and join us for low glycemic load cooking with Grandmama Rose, cooking for the whole family.
Good afternoon, y'all. I'm Rose, Grandma Rose's Open Pantry, and we're going to do something today. I've never had it. I've seen others cook it on YouTube channel, but it's called, I think, ZUPPA soup. It uses Italian sausage. Now, I don't have Italian sausage. I've just got plain breakfast sausage. This is 1 pound. So, what I'm going to do, I've got my burner on medium high. So, what I'm going to do, since I don't have Italian sausage,
Let me guess. You're going to use Italian
I'm
seasoning
going to use Italian seasoning.
and turn it into
So,
Italian sausage
I'm gonna
almost.
Put 1/2 tablespoon in there. And if that's not enough, then I'll add more. So I'm just going to brown this sausage in my saucepan. I've heard this is really, really good. We're using chicken broth that I have in the freezer. I took it out. It's my own homemade. We're using minced garlic, heavy cream, and I don't have enough heavy cream, so I am going to use some cream cheese. When you don't have what you need, you improvise. You use what you have. We're going to put kale, and I have some bacon. We're topping with bacon, Parmesan cheese. Now I'm changing it up a little bit. This is my version, okay? This is not the way you would get it in an Italian restaurant. This is my version, and I make things the way we like them. It calls for potatoes, and these are whole new potatoes in the can. And canned potatoes are supposed to have fewer carbs than your fresh potatoes, but you can use new potatoes, fresh potatoes, you can use canned potatoes, and I'm cutting my carbs with radishes today. And the recipe does call for onions, but it does not call for peppers. I'm putting a few red peppers in it because we like it, and it'll just give it some color.
So if you roughly cut potatoes and radishes, reduce the number of potatoes by about half and add radishes, you cut the carbs by half, don't you?
Right, yes, you do. So I'm just gonna, cut my potatoes in little bite-sized pieces, and that's the way I'm cutting my radishes, because I want to cut this a lot with radishes. We love radishes. We love them boiled. We love them roasted. So I'm just using a lot of radishes today because I want to cut my carbs. And I'm trying to make this as low carb as I can for all of y'all out there that are having to watch your carbs. Okay, so, all right, now that's the way I'm gonna cut my radishes. All right, I don't want to overcook these potatoes, and if they were fresh potatoes that you peel, then I would cook them at the same time I cook my radishes. But I'm going to put my potatoes in toward the end like I do my kale. And you put your kale in after your soup has cooked for a little bit, after your potatoes and your radishes have gotten done. So my sausage is about ready. I'm gonna wait till I get everything in before I taste of it and see if I need to add more Italian seasoning, because I really don't have to do that right now. So I want to get all my other seasonings in first. Now there was very, very little grease in this sausage. I mean, not much at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave it in my pot, because I mean there's not even enough to take off. All right, we're going to add our sausage back in just a little bit. Let me take that off the burner until I get my onion All right, we're using this. I'm going to use a whole onion, but it's just a medium-sized onion. And I'm going to put it in my sausage in my pan back here. All right, that's the root end. So I'll pull my pan back over here. And I'm going to cook my onions and my peppers at the same time. I'm going to cook them until my onions get translucent, probably, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes. I got my little chopper out here. I think I'm going to do my peppers in my chopper because I want them really small. My onions not so much, but I do want my peppers really small. I want them more like minced. Okay, that's the root end. I always take that root end off. All right, and I've got 4 tablespoons of butter behind me. And it's really soft, so I'm going to put it in with my onions and my peppers. And I'm going to saute these until they get translucent. All right, they're cooking. I want to get my peppers in my little chopper here. Somebody asked me where I got my chopper. It comes from Amazon. And I love it. It's so easy and convenient. Sometimes when you put too much in there, it takes it a minute because your blades get caught up on your food. All right. Okay. See what a good job that does? Can you see that? It just kind of minces it. All right. I'm going to put them in with my onions. Now this doesn't take a long time to make. This is my first time, so you know the first time you make something, you have to kind of work with it, just see how it's gonna go. And then after you've done it one time, it's easy the next time. But you're just treading kind of unsure waters when you do it for the first time. And when you're doing it on camera, it really, you want to do it right. So, all right, I'm getting my radishes. Because we're going to put as soon as my onions cook a few more minutes, then we're going to put our chicken broth in there and we're going to put our radishes in. And this is when you would put your potatoes, if they were fresh potatoes and not canned ones, like I'm using today.
And if they're not interested in lowering the glycemic load or even any of that, they just use regular potatoes.
Just regular potatoes, yeah. I mean, what I do is I just take a traditional recipe and I just try to make it as low carb and healthy as I can. But no, if you're not, you can still use my same recipes and just use your traditional ingredients like regular potatoes. I mean, you don't have to use the radishes like I'm doing. I'm just trying to cut mine. Okay? Cut my carbs. All right, that's my radishes. And stir my onions. All right, I'm gonna let my onions cook about 2 or 3 more minutes. And then I'm gonna put my chicken broth in, and I'm gonna put my radishes. We're gonna cook them until my radishes get tender. And then we'll just put our cream cheese, put everything in there. This doesn't take long at all, y'all, so we'll be back. All right, my onions and peppers have cooked. Now I need, this is a 2-cup measure, so that right there is 3 cups, or 2 cups in the, all right, that's 4 cups of broth. I'm gonna put 6 cups. Okay, that was 6 cups of broth. Right there. Now I'm not gonna put my heavy cream yet. Remember, I'm gonna cook my radishes. I'm gonna put my radishes in now because they have got to cook. They're raw. And if you were not using canned potatoes, this is where you put your potatoes in also. And you cook this until it gets till your vegetables get tender. Okay? All right. Now I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon or a half a tablespoon. I'm gonna put a half a tablespoon of minced garlic. Now I'm gonna put a whole tablespoon.
That's cause.
This is a half a tablespoon measure.
But we like garlic, don't we?
We love garlic. Okay, so that's 1 tablespoon of garlic. All right, now I'm gonna put 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna start off with 1 teaspoon of salt because my chicken broth was already salted. And I'm gonna do 1 teaspoon of black pepper.
What did you say the name of this soup is?
ZUPPA. ZUPPA. ZUPPA? Maybe? I'm not sure.
I doesn't know.
ZUPPA. I think it's ZUPPA. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've never had it. So, I'm going to taste this and of the broth.
You'll have 40 of your fans tell you how to pronounce it. Since you said you didn't know how to pronounce it.
That's good because I don't know. All right. That has no Italian
Taste yet?
All right, I'm putting 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning.
You've already put some.
I put 1 teaspoon in my sausage, but that was not going to be enough. So, all right. Okay, this is all we're going to do for right now until my radishes, it comes back up to temp. My radishes cook maybe 20 minutes it'll take them to get tender. So after that, we're going to put our cream cheese, our heavy cream, our kale, and our cooked potatoes in it, and our sausage.
What are you doing with that bacon over there?
We're going to top it with bacon and Parmesan cheese.
Oh my goodness.
That's a lot of bacon, isn't it? Kale and Elena are eating with us tonight. And they love soups. And so, and they love different soups. And I've never made this one for them. So, all right. I'm just going to let this come back up to a boil. I'm going to turn it down to medium. Let it cook until my radishes get done. And then we're going to finish the soup up. Okay, our soup has been cooking about 20 minutes. Our radishes are well done, but they're not mushy. It's seasoned really well. Now, it calls for 2 cups of heavy cream. I did not have 2 cups. I've got 1.5 cups. So I told y'all that I was going to use cream cheese. So I'm putting 2 ounces of cream cheese in it because I don't have 2 cups of heavy cream. So y'all use what's in your refrigerator. And if you don't have cream cheese, then find something else. I think you could probably put sour cream. Sour cream would be delicious in this.
Ooh,
Now it wouldn't be your ZUPPA soup, but neither is the cream cheese. So make it the way you want it. All right. I'm going to stir this. I'm not going to boil this because everything in it is done now. I'm adding something extra. I want extra color to mine, so I have grated some carrots. That's about a 1/4 cup of carrots. Y'all know I put the red peppers in it for color, and I'm also putting the carrots in it for color. I love delicious, flavorful, pretty food. So when I can make mine that way, I do. All right, I'm gonna stir this until that cream cheese melts in there. All right, it's just about melted. Now, I'm still not gonna put my potatoes in yet. I'm gonna put them at the last because they're already done. I'm gonna put my sausage in next. All right.
That's about 3 cups of sausage meat.
About 3 cups. It was 1 pound. Okay. Ooh, this is gonna make a pot full. Okay. Now, it calls for 4 cups of kale. I'm gonna put that's about 3 cups. I'm gonna let it wilt down and see if I think that's enough.
Oh, I want the full 4 cups. I love the kale.
Oh, I know, I do too, but we're not the only ones eating tonight.
Okay.
So, but the kale is gonna wilt down to almost nothing. All right, I'm gonna let this sit here, and yeah, I'm gonna add the rest of the kale. Okay, there we go. That was 4 cups of washed chopped. I just took it and chopped it up really fine. Now these carrots, they'll just cook sitting in this hot liquid because I had taken my grater and I had grated them. Okay. All right. Ooh, this looks good. Look at that. All right, I'm gonna let this cook for probably 5 minutes to wilt this kale and cook it just a little bit, and then our soup will be done. I'll put my potatoes in and I'll cover it and I'll just let it sit here. Kale and Elena will be here about 5 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock, so I'll just let it sit here with the cover on it, with the lid on it, until they get here. So, but I'm gonna come back and we're gonna show you what it tastes like.
I'm wanting to taste.
I know. Well, I've already tasted it. It's delicious, but that's before we put everything in it. But just the broth was really good. All right. I'm gonna let this cook about 5 minutes just to wilt that kale and cook it a little bit.
Grandmama, that is
You
smelling
wanna bring
good.
it over here, honey?
Sure.
Y'all look at this.
Sure. Low carb, low
Y'all
soup.
look at my ZUPPA. Y'all. All right. We're about to taste. Now, how good is this gonna be? Y'all, look at that. All right, tell you what we're gonna do.
Healthy.
I'm gonna put a little bit more in it. All right, now then. Okay, let me get my towel. I want to clean it off. Now, sprinkle just a little bit of bacon over it, like that. Now this is optional. You don't have to do that. Sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese over it. Not a whole bunch.
A little more bacon on top of it.
Like that. Just a little bit
gracious.
of bacon right there.
Oh, gracious.
All right. Now, we are about to tell y'all what this tastes like.
Woo!
I want y'all to look at my soup. Look at that. Good gracious. Okay.
Now this, my friends,
Be careful, yeah.
I got a sneak taste before it was completely done. Now I'm gonna get some of that bacon and cheese.
Now this is his first too. We've never had it. Is that good? Delicious, isn't it?
I'm not the biggest soup person in the world, but I'm gonna give this Grandpa Roy's Man Cave Award. Let me tell you, this is absolutely wonderful to me. I also am gonna give it the 911 call. Because let me tell you, somebody better call 911, 911 before I eat myself to death.
Okay, you want to give them the
Rose,
glycemic.
this is good.
You want to give them the glycemic load on this? Okay. I caught him with his mouth full, y'all.
Yeah, very seldom is my mouth full. It's so big. Look, if you cooked this with fresh potatoes and did not cut potatoes in half with the radishes like she did, in other words, you put 4 cups of potatoes, and you might even put more, then the per cup glycemic load is 5 per cup. This is 2 cups, so you would have 10 invested in that whole thing if you didn't do the glycemic load reducing, what we call cut the carbs. Now, since she did cut the carbs in 2 ways, let me explain it to you. She used canned potatoes. If you cook potatoes and let them cool overnight or on the store shelf in a can, if you boil them, let them cool in the refrigerator overnight or on the store shelf like that can, it lowers the glycemic load by approximately 1/3 because the refrigeration or storage after cooking a starch like potato or rice turns a lot of the carbohydrates in that food into what is called resistant carbohydrates, resistant starch. So by using the can, first, she reduced the carbs by 1/3. By adding the radishes in equal parts to the potatoes, she further cut the remaining glycemic load by 50%. Now, that results in a per cup load of this soup of 1.2 GL per cup. This is safe for anybody that's wanting to be safe on their insulin or carbohydrates or whatever you are doing. But you don't have to. You can eat it just like you want to, but this is why Rose tries to prepare it this way, is to give the option of eating low glycemic healthy food. Comes from Rose's, Grandma Rose's Open Pantry YouTube channel.
Food feasts the family. Family feasts the heart. God feasts the soul. Put deliciousness back in your healthy soup.
And this fork spoon feeds me.